Hello, so today we're going to be comparing 7 different piano sample libraries. In this day and age, there are so many different pianos to choose from, and it can be hard to kind of discern the good ones from the bad ones. And sometimes you think, oh, I need to go out and spend hundreds of pounds on a beautiful piano, when actually there's some really beautiful free gems out there. And so we're going to be looking at 4 free ones and 3 paid ones. One you actually get with Logic Pro X, so those who don't use Logic Pro X out there, sorry, you don't get this one. Even then, it's not the best one in the world, but I just thought I'd put it up against everything else. And so we're going to be looking at some from Orchestral Tools. We're looking at the Lab Soft Piano, which is quite famous. We're looking at something from Piano Book. We're looking at some of the originals by Spitfire Audio. We're looking at the Spitfire Orchestral Grand, and one by Native Instruments, The Gentleman, which I think a lot of you might know as well. So let's put these up against each other. Let's jump straight in and see how they sound. We're going to be starting off with the free one. So let's start with the Steinway Grand Piano, which is just what you get with Logic. With each of these, I'm going to be providing information about them above, right there. Oh, there should be stuff there if you want to either download these for free, as I said, or the paid links for whatever they are. I'll put the prices up there as well. A lot of the time you can get them on sale, at least the paid ones. So without further ado, this is the Steinway Grand Piano, which you just get with standard Logic Pro X. There you go, there you have it. Quite simple. It's a piano. It is a beautiful one. You know, it's not terrible. It has its purpose. And I think they stick a little bit of reverb on that as well, which is lovely. And of course, pedal works with it. But one thing I personally don't like about it, but I can't complain because it's free, is there's no release note. I love a nice release note. It really adds a lot of realism to a piano. So there you have it. Basic, simple. That's the Steinway Grand Piano that comes with Logic, you know, kind of putting everything up against this. The next one we're going to look at, we have the Hyundai U852. Now, I'm a little bit biased because I actually created this one myself. This is available on Piano Book, and it's available for full contact. So if you have full contact, you can obviously have this, but it's also available on the Decent Sampler, which is free to download. And of course, this instrument is free on Piano Book. It has 2 different velocity layers and no round robins, but every single note was sampled. You also have room hall reverb. I don't know if that's available on the Decent Sampler, but this also has a release trigger, and if you want to put some delay on it or a low pass or high pass filter, it's there as well. So let's just tuck in and give it a play. I should also add, I put the felt down on the piano, so this is kind of a felt piano sort of effect, but let the instrument speak for itself. I love it. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. As I said, I am biased, but you do have that release trigger. When you take your finger off the note, you hear that click, and you can turn that up. Way too loud. Let's turn that right down. So you can adjust that, and you can adjust the whole reverb. Again, I should not really use the extremes. You can take it right off as well, and really have that intimate. I love it. Beautiful. And so again, that's free. That's our second piano. This was our first. This is our second. A lot softer and more intimate and free. And let's move swiftly on to our third. So our third is another free one, this time by Orchestral Tools. And it's from their Sign Factory collection, and it's called Ratio, and it's a free grand piano. And so let's see how this sounds. I think, yeah, it's only one round robin, but we do have 4 velocity layers by the looks of it. Let's give it a try. So they have, yeah, just one mix for this. You know, it's quite nice. It's quite bright, I think. I am a sucker for soft pianos. So, but overall, you know, it is a lovely piano and it has its purpose. It's quite bright. I think that will sit quite nicely in a bigger mix. And it's quite a nice general purpose. So far we've got the Steinway Grand, which is this one. So that's the Steinway Ram that comes with Logic. You have your Hyundai. And then we have our Sign Factory piano. All very different. That's quite similar to the Steinway. I think I actually prefer the Logic Steinway Grand there between the last two. But let's move on to our next piano, which is the infamous Labs soft piano. I think it was the first Labs instrument Spitfire Audio released. This is a Spitfire Audio product, again free. They have a wonderful large collection of free samples under Labs. If I just click on there, bit off topic, but they have so many free instruments and they're all absolutely amazing. You can write entire compositions just using these. You don't need to buy samples. There's plenty out there for free before you actually go in and buy some. But let's go in and use the soft piano. beautiful. It's such an intimate, soft piano. It is what it says on the tin, and I quite like that about Spitfire Audio. If you've seen my other review, a lot of their stuff really is, it is what it says it is, a soft piano. The one thing I am not happy with this, or I'm not a big fan of, is the fact that, especially as a piano player, there's not really any velocity layer. So if I go, probably should hit a proper chord, I play that, quite hard, you could hear the keyboard. If I play that quietly, it's not much difference. And that's mostly because I think velocity is controlled by this dynamic. So you've really got to be controlling your dynamic or your modulation wheel to get some velocity out of that. But saying that, it's this lovely shimmering flat sort of sound that you can't go wrong with, and that will sit really nicely in a mix. And again, it's free. Oh, I should add there's also a reverb. So let's put a bit of reverb. I think there's already a bit on there. What's it sound dry? Let's put a bit of reverb. So they have a beautiful reverb on that as well. And if you're not worried about velocity, or if you just want to input MIDI without having to play a piano and then just use your mod wheel, you've got that advantage there. But absolutely beautiful instrument. So let's move on to the child of the soft piano. So I think it was last year, Spitfire Audio came up with a follow-up from the Lab soft piano, one of the originals, which is the felt piano. So it's the same piano that they recorded the soft piano with, but they went more in depth. And we're not going to do a full look at every single preset they have. We're going to look at just kind of the generic ones and maybe some of the different mics. But this is the same piano, more deeply sampled. So if you really like the Lab soft piano and you just want to go that little step further, you can get this for like £29, dollars or euros. And again, another beautiful piano. Let's have a little play. So instantly, actually, you can hear the other one, Lab soft piano, didn't have any releases. This one, they've got those releases. And the hammers, so if we turn that up there, you can hear that. And you can see all the controls there. We can turn the pedal right up. So you've got that lovely pedal sound there to add to the realism. You have that hammer, that release. You've got two different microphones, the ribbon and the close. Let's play with the close. So a little bit more of the high end, a little bit more intimate. I really like the warmth of the ribbon microphone actually with this one. It's a slight difference, but it's definitely notable. I love just the ribbon, and when you just want that hammery percussive sound with your piano, this is just, it's all you need. Let's turn it on. I love it. Beautiful. It's a good buy, and it's, you know, everything you're missing in the Lab Soft piano. If you want more, this is really that next. And you've got some fun. You've got like a piano pad there, 50/50 up close, ribbon, reverses, short space. I actually really like using the short space. It can be quite fun for some more percussive tracks. But they've got some fun bits here. There's lots of different piano sounds to explore. They also have some extended dynamic patches, which is, you know, what I was complaining about in the Labs one. If we turn the dynamics right up, I bet you'll have even more. Oh, way too much. So that's the original felt piano by Spitfire Audio. Great upgrade from the LabSoft piano, and a nice all-rounder, and you've got lots of other little bits to kind of mess with. But kind of what we've been looking at a lot of is kind of these soft, intimate, almost, here you go, almost solo sort of piano sort of stuff. But for an actual orchestral setting, and this is the only reason I actually have this, playing this solo, I must admit, I dislike a lot. This is the Spitfire Orchestral Grand. Now, I think it is only available if you have full contact, but if you're doing some big orchestral works and you need a piano that kind of sits well within that mix, this is my go-to. Other than that, I hate it. But I thought it was important to include because it does sit nicely within an orchestra. And it has got 4 different mic positions, although I'm going to start with the close. It doesn't sound that close, really. Yeah, that's a close mic. Doesn't sound too close to me. And you have a tape and a direct mix. I don't hear much of a difference between them, if I'm honest. This is the tape. We'll go on the Decatry mic. And let's go back. Okay, maybe a slight difference, but I'll let you be the judge of that. And even then, just between those two mics, yeah, a bit closer. And we got right at the back. Whew. But as I say, if you want an orchestral piece, this does actually sit really nicely. And there's your outriggers. Yeah, you got a nice bit of stereo. A bit quiet. Let's create a little mix. Let's do something like that. We get less of the outriggers. So you do have some lovely different velocity layers within that. So overall, as I said, if you want to stick it in an orchestra, you have that beautiful natural reverb. I don't think the dynamic knob does anything. Yeah, I don't see that doing anything. Coarse expression, overall volume, pedal volume. You can probably hear me hitting my pedal. I'm not. Yeah. As I said, I got this really for its use within bigger orchestras. So moving on to our final one, The Gentleman, which is by Native Instruments. This one has quite a few different snapshots. So I personally like the in the face one, but you have a ton of different ones. We'll mess with a couple of different ones just to get a feel for it. And this is, again, another beautiful piano. So off the bat, you have the pedal on and you have the pedal off sound. On, off, which is lovely. You do have that slight hammer release, which I think you can turn up. Tonal depth. So there's so much you can do to this piano. It's absolutely brilliant. Reverbs as well. Here we go. Hammer. So you can turn that right up. You can turn the dampeners up. Pedal. Ooh. Strings. And I should say I'm playing very softly. And that was quite loudly. So you don't need to press hard for this patch, which is probably why I love it so much, because it's got a nice intimate sound. Let's look at a different patch within this. The basic. Let's just look at the basic. It's a bit weedy for me. I guess it would sit nice with other instruments when you don't want your piano to be too dominant, because In Your Face really is in your face. It is what it says on the tin. But I love how versatile this piano is. As I just showed you, these are two completely different patches from the same piano. So there's so much you can do with it. And there's also a lid off and on. Lid down, lid up. Soft. Hard. Probably the most versatile one I've reviewed today. Let's just have a quick run through all of them, just to kind of, off the bat, some difference. So we've got the Steinway Grand, your basic Logic one. We've got the Piano Book Hyundai. We now have our Sign Factory, the free grand piano. I think one of my least favorites of the bunch we've reviewed, but it is free. Your Labs piano with a lot of reverb on it. Oh yeah, the reverb's completely off now. And then we have our original felt piano, the son or daughter of the Lab soft piano. And then we have our Spitfire Orchestral Grand. It has its purpose. And then we have the Gentleman. A little bit of distortion there as well. And there you have it, 7 different pianos, 3 of which was paid, 3 of which are free for just about everybody, and 1 of which is only available in Logic. Let me know which one is your favorite. I will leave links down in the description for every single one of them, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.